One ambulance, rigged with cameras for the first time ever, to show you what goes on behind closed doors. Body-mounted cameras record everything.
Oh, it's going to be another 2-hour session of wearing the man bra.
Hello, you okay?
Am I turned on?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Apparently it's going to be a fisheye lens on it, going to make your face look even fatter than it is.
Where's the button, Jamie?
It's there.
We'll reveal what it's really like
So where are you hurting?
to be a paramedic.
Hello there, Lawrence.
Do you know what? High five, yeah, well done, love.
We're with the West Midlands Ambulance Service,
We get life, we get death. We have a bit of everything.
as they deal with 3,000 emergency calls each day.
We're not in the Bronx.
Yes!
Next red one, let's go. Blue light.
Taking you right to the heart of the action.
You comfy there?
Not really.
All right. That's the worst bit over. All right.
If you could be any animal in the world, any animal, what would you be?
Obviously, I wouldn't want to be an animal that was going to get eaten by another
You
animal.
want something quite near the top of the food
Top of the
chain?
food chain.
Okay.
I
I would definitely be a dog. And I think I'd be a golden retriever. Because everybody loves a golden retriever.
thought that was like a dead zebra or something. There are many dead zebras in Wollongong.
Do you know what I'd be? If I had to be a dog, I'd be a sausage dog. Sausage dogs are amazing.
My dog's just a nutter.
You get fed without having to work for it.
True.
I get
Do you have to work to be fed?
Yeah. I have to work to buy food.
Go to your mum's.
It's Wednesday afternoon. Simon Little and student paramedic Michelle McNulty have been on shift since 5:30 this morning.
Molting. That was my very first cardiac arrest in there on that floor.
Really?
Yeah, right there. All of mine have been in public.
Really?
Never had anyone in their home or anything like that.
I'd give her an arrest right now.
Yes!
Red one.
Oh, it is a red.
And it's red one, let's go. Might be an arrest.
Red 1 means the patient is in a critical condition, not breathing or without a pulse. The speed of the ambulance response could be the difference between life and death.
No, let's just respond to that.
Fixie. It's just coming round now.
Oh, right, she wasn't on scene.
Got all excited.
A 28-year-old man has had a massive seizure at work. Even though he stopped fitting, he could start again.
Wow, it's a massive container yard. I did not expect this.
Any fit is dangerous, but if you're convulsing near heavy or moving machinery, you could also sustain other serious injuries. A rapid responder is already with the patient. Richard has stopped fitting, but he's now very confused, has no memory of the day, and looks really unwell.
He has bit his tongue. It lasted several seconds. It's the second time it's happened.
Right.
After his first seizure, Richard was referred for tests. They came back inconclusive. The fact he's now had a second episode suggests a bigger problem, something more serious.
How are you feeling now, Richard?
A little bit confused.
You look a bit confused. Do you feel tired?
Yeah.
You done anything out of the ordinary today?
Well,
His manager tells the crew that Richard's mum has epilepsy. He also tells them Richard was working on a computer screen the last time this happened, something that's known to trigger seizures, just like sleep deprivation and missing meals.
Have you eaten anything today, Richard? You know if you had any lunch or anything?
I don't remember.
You don't remember. What's the last thing you remember?
Passing out.
You've been working a lot lately.
Just every day, just normal.
You look tired.
Oh, well, it's because of that.
You've got like bags under your eyes. So you're suffering with sleep.
Oh, we got bags on the mouth.
Right, okay. Do you feel sick or anything?
Just exhausted.
Just exhausted. You don't feel sick? No. Okay.
Epilepsy affects around 600,000 people in the UK, and it's usually diagnosed in children or pensioners, not people Richard's age.
It's my second seizure now, so that means I'm banned from driving, doesn't it?
It means what?
I'm banned from driving.
I don't know.
Don't know what.
Because obviously the tests were inconclusive before. It depends on if they find anything.
The seizure, not many people have much warning. So if you're driving down the road or on the motorway and you have maybe even a second's warning, that's not enough time to pull over safely.
Because that's what he was really worried about. It's all he kept talking about was that he was just going to lose his licence.
Richard lives with his mum, and as soon as he became ill, his colleagues phoned her.
You all right, sweetheart?
Yeah,
Did you have any warning?
The twitching again.
Where was the
Yeah, the
twitching?
main one in Wolverhampton.
My head, it just turns to the right. I can't stop
When
it.
you turn up there, just follow the
What, like your
signs.
eyes are
Park in the
going?
nearest car park and
Or
go
like
into-
you feel like your head's
It feels
turning?
like I'm twitching, like.
All right, I'll
Like
pass you
doing
back.
that?
Yeah.
Like jerking? Do you get any like twitching in your face or anything? No.
Obviously, he's explained that you're epileptic as well, is that correct?
I haven't had. I stopped having fits as I was about 27.
What was your cause of them, did they say?
They never found anything, but they did put it down in the end to sleep deprivation.
Okay.
Oh, is that why they did the sleep deprivation with you then, to test it?
To rule that out.
Second seizure, they put it down to epilepsy, don't they?
It's best to definitely get it checked out and see how you go.
First time it happened, it completely took me by surprise.
Yeah,
This time,
understandably.
I felt the twitching start, and I lowered myself to the floor before I passed out.
So I
Did
got
you manage to
no
shout
warnings.
someone?
Mine were just.
I was talking to a driver in the yard.
Oh, okay. And he saw.
Just remembered now. I came out looking for a trailer for somebody,
Yeah,
and I was talking to one of the drivers. He was just finishing for the day,
yeah.
and I felt the twitching. So I lay down. The only worry is if I was driving, or like on a motorway or something, if it happened, I wouldn't be able to stop.
As well as checking his blood pressure and temperature, Simon also checks Richard's heart rate.
Do you remember if you've had any lunch yet, Richard?
What time is it?
We're now 4:45.
I think so. Can't remember.
20 minutes after they arrived, Richard's now calm enough for Simon to do some tests.
It's a cranial nerve test. You've got 12 sets of nerves that will give you an idea if there's some sort of damage going on inside your brain. Okay. Can you touch my finger with your finger? Now can you touch your nose? Finger? Now I'm going to move my hand. Ready? Keep going. The cerebellum test is, because obviously the cranium all up here, cerebellum's at the back, which is where your coordination centres are. Okay, swap hands. So touch his finger to nose and I keep moving it around. Just sees how well your coordination is. Thankfully, he passed that test. And I know, I told you it was going to be silly, didn't I?
No, it's okay. It's just
Keep going.
the exhaustion.
I bet it is.
Mum goes to thank Richard's colleagues for looking after him.
6 months and 1 day ago, yesterday, my last one.
It's quite a while. Touch wood with regards to your driving. This is a new episode. If it's 6 months.
Yeah.
Simon and Michelle are happy that Richard is stable and start the journey to hospital. He needs more checks and possibly a brain scan.
It must have been Julia who found me. Rich, I'll tell you what, mate. When she asked to speak to me and said, "You are Richard Bailey's mum," I thought you was dead, mate.
Oh, God.
Oh, I'll tell you. I was like, "What's the matter? What's the matter? Where is he?" She said he's had another fit on the yard. As horrible as it sounds, I was so relieved.
All that I'm going through my head now is if I do lose my licence, what am I going to do for a living?
You have had your lunch, by the way.
The scariest thing is the thought of having a seizure somewhere dangerous.
Yeah. But the one thing I'll tell you now from experience is if you spend your life worrying about it, it will dictate how you live.
And not only that, it'll just stress you out and you'll end up having more fits anyway.
So I think even if they offered me like tablets, I don't think I'd want to take them.
They controlled my epilepsy. They probably saved my life. Because without them, I was fitting constantly. 7, 8, 9 a day. Every other day. I've got no life, Rich.
By the time they arrive at the hospital, they've been with Richard for an hour and 11 minutes. He'll now go into A&E for tests to check activity in his brain.
Be honest, is that your best ambulance ride today?
Can you toot the bullhorn? Right. No. Cool.
Why was it?
No one?
No. Have you been ballooned in my house?
No.
Somebody else.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're such a liar! So many times, like, I'm waking up at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and then I'll find out someone's ballooned, and I'm just like, you woke me up!
It's Tuesday afternoon. Paramedic Jamie Cashmore and technician Debbie Woodcock are 4 hours into their 12-hour shift.
Okay, we are going to
999 activated.
76-year-old male. Fall injuries unknown. Patient doesn't communicate.
That's helpful.
Right, this could be interesting.
It's just after 5 p.m. and the rush hour traffic is starting to build.
God almighty, love, get a grip. For God's sake.
I don't know how they think these ambulances are so small.
I'm sure they think we can just press a magic button and it shrinks or something.
You know what it's like? It's like the magic bus. The magic bus in Harry Potter. Have you ever seen Harry Potter?
Yeah. What
The
magic
night bus. Where he goes, little old lady at 3 o'clock, Ernie, the little head.
I remember it.
And then it kind of sucks it in, and it can squeeze through little gaps.
You need wacky races.
Oh my God, you see
Where
the wacky
they
races.
extend the things and it goes up and over the top of them.
Yeah, Penelope Pitstop,
Yeah.
Dastard and Muttley.
Dastardly and Muttley, oh, that's it.
After 11 minutes, they arrive at the man's house.
Aha.
Hello.
Hello.
You all right? Hello there. How are you? Hello there. Hello.
I don't think you hurt him, it's just the way you went.
The man is lying motionless on the living room floor.
What's the gentleman's name?
Lawrence.
Lawrence. Okie dokie. Right. What does Lawrence suffer with? Parkinson's. Okay. Now, on our system, it said that he doesn't communicate. Is that right? He doesn't. Well,
He can.
At times. He can at times. Okay. Good days, bad days. I'm guessing. Yeah.
Carers come in to help Lawrence every day, but they're not allowed to lift him if he falls.
A little bit. That's lovely. So people think with Parkinson's, they think of somebody trembling all the time, very unsteady. And whereas it means to me, is there something else going on? Parkinson's patients sometimes don't feel pain. So you've got to be really careful about when you assess them. How are you feeling? You all right? Have you got any pain anywhere, Lawrence? No? OK.
Thank you very much.
Apart from the Parkinson's, any other medical... Just arthritis, okie dokie.
Lawrence's wife Kitty had nodded off in front of the telly, but thinks she woke up just as he was sliding off his chair.
He must have gone like this, and he must have been reaching for something, you know?
And then...
He actually knows when he feels himself falling, how to fall. He's got used to that.
Oh, so kind of like...
So he was holding that with his arm, but I know he hadn't banged his head, but I've moved that because he was trying to pull himself up.
OK.
He's like a bit of a stunt man then, isn't he, if he knows how to fall?
The first thing to do is get Lawrence up.
What we're going to do, pop a little belt around your waist, and it just aids us to get you up and onto this. All right.
You listening? You've got to stand on your feet when they pull you up, Lawrence.
Right, we're going to get this underneath you, so can you just bring this arm over for me?
Hello.
There's another lady come to see you.
All I'm going to do is just roll you slightly towards me.
Sweetheart, I'm just going to roll you a little bit this way.
I'll take his glasses off.
No, he's all right there for him.
That's it. Lovely.
We could do with going up a little bit, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Lawrence, we're just going to slide the belt up your back a little bit, all right, my dog?
There we go.
That's it, sweetheart. There we go. Might have needed this.
It is very difficult to move somebody on your own, so I don't know how she copes, how Kitty copes. I think a lot of the time when you love someone that much, you find strength from everywhere and anywhere that you can. First of all, Lawrence, we're going to bend you in the middle, so we're going to sit you up nice and gently. OK? 2, 3.
That's it, we've got you. I've got you, Lawrence, I've got you. Don't worry, we're not going anywhere, sweet.
Listen what they tell you, darling.
OK, that's lovely.
Low down, isn't it?
1, 2,
Stand
3.
up on your legs, quick. That's it. That's better. Now, come this way to the window a bit and then turn round like you usually do.
We've got you, darling.
We're not going to let you fall again.
Turn round to the chair now with your bum. You've got to move your legs backwards, darling. There's a chair
Move your
there.
legs.
That's it.
Keep going, sweet.
That's very good. Do
That's
again.
it.
Keep
There we
going,
go.
keep going.
There we go. That's it.
There we go.
That's all I can do with this, you know, because it's...
Let go, Lawrence, and just lie back.
When Lawrence and Kitty first met, she was living in Wolverhampton and he was in Peterborough. He would often cycle the 97 miles to see her.
I've got to shave you at some point, Lawrence. How does he see?
Going for the stubble look.
It don't last very long. It grows quick.
What we'll do, we'll just do
Yeah,
a few checks on him, and then we'll go from there. All right.
They've now been with Lawrence for 12 minutes. Although he appears fine, Debbie checks his pulse, temperature, blood pressure and blood sugar levels.
Lawrence, I'm just going to move your legs a little bit and make sure nothing's out the ordinary. Is that all right? It takes out the most human factor, not being able to communicate verbally.
It's using your other senses, using his other senses, because you can't talk, so it may be touch, eye contact, facial expressions, things like that.
Your natural rhythm that you'd have in a job is just slightly extended, and you have to really think about what you're saying, think about how you question things. You can't kind of say, well, how are you feeling? It has to be like kind of yes, no answers. Let me just do the moving. Any pain? Fit in there? Can you lift this leg up at all?
It's a beautiful garden. Do you do it?
OK, lovely. Thank you. Squeeze my hand if you've got pain here. Lovely. When I lift your leg, does that hurt? Squeeze if it hurts. a little bit. Okay. Thank you.
All right, yeah.
Oh, thank you ever so much. Very kind.
That's the coffee, and this one is yours with the tea in.
Lovely, thank you.
The only thing I can find is he's just complaining of a little bit of pain in his hip.
Right.
But it's not, he's able to lift it up.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario for him, it could have been a fractured hip. The assessment I did showed that it was more bruising than anything. There was no obvious fracture. But just to make sure that nothing developed over a period of time, contacted the GP, just in case he needed pain medication as well. OK, thank you very much for your help. Cheers. Bye-bye. Doctor will be here between 12 and 3 tomorrow afternoon.
With the GP booked, Jamie and Debbie can leave.
We'll leave you to it. All the best, Lawrence.
Take care, Lawrence.
Thank you for coming.
That's all right, no problem.
Kitty was absolutely
All
adorable.
right, bye-bye.
So helpful in what she was saying. She was telling us everything that we needed to know. And then she was an absolute darling because she turned around and said, "Do you want a cup of tea?"
He's been ill like that for about 15 years. And she just keeps going, bless her.
Do you know what? I think Parkinson's is such...
Horrible.
It's like all those kind of like motor neurons disease and MS and Parkinson's. Horrendous.
Yeah, it's a horrible disease. Mind you, there's a lot of blooming diseases that are horrible lately.
Yeah.
Don't be an idiot.
You're gonna move? No, you're gonna make me go around you, aren't you?
No, watch the bike. Watch the bike. Watch the bike.
Whoa.
Did he see me then? Yeah. I don't think he even see me then when I was next to him.
Come on, Mr. Taxi, use your mirrors. Thank you.
I hate that. It's always the same with taxi drivers.
You obviously don't make mirrors on Vauxhalls.
Where the...
Oh, Jesus.
Ooh, I'm gonna swear.
What the hell?
Just unbelievable, aren't they?
Oh.
Ooh, you silly munter.
Don't worry, I'll come this way.
Friday afternoon. Simon Little and Michelle McNulty are racing to a doctor's surgery where there's a small boy in trouble.
5-year-old male with breathing problems. It is Bilston Health Centre.
It's nearly Friday rush hour and traffic is building.
Nina, you are clear then.
Michelle has 2 children herself. Simon has 3.
For a doctor to call 999 for that child to get to hospital, you know that it's got to be bad. You just think, I just want to get there as quickly as possible to help this child. Straight away, you just think about what that parent's going through, and myself, I'd be in an absolute panic if it was one of mine.
They arrive at the surgery just 6 minutes after receiving the call.
But where do we park?
There, I think.
We're just going to go here then.
We're going to go in the front because we're rock and roll, so rock and roll.
Their body cameras capture everything firsthand. GP Dr. Walker called them when the boy came in having an asthma attack.
But today he got given Calpol about an hour and a half ago. His temp's 37.8. SATs when he came in was 82.
What?
I tried 2 different SATs machines and it was good.
Gosh.
Has he had a neb or anything?
Alarm bells start ringing immediately. SATs is the level of oxygen in the blood. Normally, it should be above 95%.
Hi. Hello, Riley.
Anything below 90 could well be causing internal damage.
Session 2. Sorry, chest sounded awful, but it sounds a bit better now after 5 milligrams of salbutamol. He's gone through this before.
Oh, you know the trick then, don't you, Riley? I'm just going to listen to your back, buddy. My name's Simon and Shell's with you.
Bit constipated because he's done with dirty. Better out than in. Don't worry.
I'll get this out ready, Si.
Yes, please. Let's just go.
Hey?
We'll just go and
Just
chuck
go.
him on that and we'll go.
Anything less than 97 for a child is a concern for me because a fit and well lungs shouldn't be reduced air. They shouldn't have reduced oxygen levels. And with paediatric illness, they can compensate very well, but once they get tired, there's always that chance that they could stop breathing.
Are you right to carry him, Mum? Are you sure, or do you want me to do it? Well, not with his oxygen that level.
Oh, I can carry him if you want.
No, I'm all right to carry.
You sure?
Come on.
Clear of that.
So I'm just going to go and open the back up.
For a small child having an asthma attack, just that short walk from the surgery to the ambulance would be like a run for us. Say if we went out for a 5-mile run and you are literally gasping and cannot breathe at the end of it, that's how Riley would have been, just walking.
Riley's school phoned his mum at lunchtime to say his breathing was difficult. Since then, it's got even worse.
I did give him Calpol, but it's probably about 2 hours ago now.
Yeah.
He had a really bad temperature and he was just sweating.
Riley's breathing has been getting worse and worse for 5 hours. He's finding it so hard to breathe, he can't talk. His chest feels like there's a band constantly tightening around it. He's feeling dizzy.
The more tired you are, the less energy you've got until he hasn't got the energy to take another breath.
Respiratory distress is the most common cause of cardiac arrest in children.
Any pale pallor or blueness around his lips?
No.
Compared to previous episodes of breathing, how bad is this one to the others?
This time I was 50-50 on what to do because that's why I brought him to the doctors, whereas I've had times where I've had to take him straight up to A&E.
There are 1.1 million children with asthma in the UK. Of those, 1 child is admitted to hospital somewhere every 20 minutes.
Sorry, buddy. You've had these stickers before, haven't you? Yeah? Just to check how your heart's beating.
Riley, I'm going to feel a little sharp scratch on your finger, sweetie.
Right.
Well done. Well done. Very good boy. Good boy. Good boy.
Riley, you're a really good boy. Well done, OK?
There you go.
Give that a squeeze.
That's it. All right, good boy.
Matey, that's good, isn't it? Good boy.
5.6.
5.6.
37.
Right, buddy, I'm just going to pop a little bit more medicine in here. Just give us a couple of minutes. Do you need to cough at all? Have you been coughing at school today? Yeah? Have you been bringing any colours up with that cough? Have you been bringing up any spit that's dark colours? No? Right, ready when you are, buddy. I'm going to alert en route.
He had a temperature. Obviously, his heart rate was racing, his breathing rate was elevated. All the information I can get from him while he's able to tell me is what I can tell the hospital. Should he deteriorate en route and not be able to tell me.
They prepare to pull away just 10 minutes after they arrived. Riley's SATs are rising, already at 93%, but he's still struggling.
You are really brave for a 5-year-old. My son's not as brave as you. Hello, Amy, I've got an alert for you. 5-year-old male, severe asthma attack. He's on some nebs at the moment. Best SATs I've got is 93% on 8-litre neb. Our ETA to you is about 5 minutes.
While Michelle negotiates the rush hour traffic, Simon tops up Riley's medication. He's desperate to regulate his breathing.
You'll find this will open up all your airways, little man. And you shall be, feeling much better very soon, OK? Are you hurting anywhere? Can you point to if it hurts? Does it not hurt? Just on your finger, that's all, isn't it?
good man.
They pull into the hospital 7 minutes after leaving the surgery. It's just 23 minutes since they first got the call.
Right, we're at the hospital now, my friend. It's fast because Shell's driving, you see. You in year 1?
Now he's in reception still.
You're in reception? Oh, gosh, you're so young. You're a bit younger than my boy.
He's tall, but he's one of the youngest in his year.
The paediatric team are ready and waiting in A&E for Riley's arrival.
Oof, that is misty. All right.
Oh.
You can carry him again.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we'll just carry him in. It's door's only there and keeps him upright and it's quicker.
Come on, mate.
Just watch your back, Mum.
He needed to get to
Yeah, Riley's been struggling with his breathing probably a lot longer than anyone's realised. He was using all his respiratory muscles to fill his lungs, and the doctor did the right thing, of course. That's why we didn't waste time on scene, 9 minutes.
Really?
9 minutes on scene. He's in the right place now. So fingers crossed, he'll be nice and well, back to his normal self. Definitely.
Mode activated.
I think it's probably fair to say that I've been called, I don't know if callous is the right word, but it just people
Cold.
say, yeah, a little, yeah, cold. You do though. It's just, you know, get a little bit cynical, maybe, slightly, maybe a lot.
In the past, I've been called cold by family, friends, with things like they've watched and it's upsetting to them, whereas to me it's not, because I've seen it all, and you have to detach yourself from the jobs that you go to, because you have to just go from one job to the next one without thinking too much about what's happened.
But then on other times, you can absolutely bawl your eyes out at something that everybody's like, what are you crying for? Yeah. I think it's just sometimes you've had that much emotion carried on your shoulders for a lot of time. What did I watch the other day? Marley and Me. Watched that on telly. Yeah. Absolutely gone. I was gone. I bawled my eyes out for about 20 minutes straight.
It's like my mum's turned around to me and says, since I started this job, I've become a lot colder.
It's hard not to, though, you know.
Yeah.
Because in this job, you see people that go out in the morning and don't come home again.
Yeah.
You have to be able to detach yourself, don't you, from the...
Yeah, completely.
Because there's not many jobs where you see what we see. You know, you can deal with life and death and then go home and have your tea with your other half, or...
And you can go that from 1 minute to the next.
Yeah, if you took that home with you every day, you wouldn't last 5 years, would you, in the job?
No.
If you've had a bad day or a bad job, you've gone out to lots of bad jobs, do you prefer being on your own after, or do you like to be with people?
I think I like to be on my own at first, to let my mind, like, almost go over the job and just let it settle and rest. Because the last thing you want sometimes is someone asking you questions, and I need to process it in my way.
It's hard as well, isn't it? Because quite rightly, they want to talk about their day, or they want to moan about something, and they're complaining, I don't know, that something ridiculous. And you're thinking in your head, I've just seen someone die, and you're talking about rubbish that doesn't matter. And you want to say, it's not their fault, though, is it? It's not their fault.
It's not their fault in the slightest.
That's normal life to talk about your day.
But to us, it's
petty, isn't it? It's irrelevant.
But then we've seen a side of life that not many people have the opportunity to see. Right, let's do this. Let's go and get food.
Everything that's bad for you tastes good, doesn't it?
Chocolate, sweet. Oh, I've got Haribo in my bag, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tantastics. So we shall open them at some point. We need somewhere with ice cream today.
Oh, you are bad.
We need somewhere with ice cream.
You're bad.
Seriously,
with ice cream,
the weather's nice.
And I'll drop it all down my front.
Do you want a fancy? A Magnum.
Fancy what?
A Magnum. Ice cream.
Yeah.
Or gun to the head.
No ice cream.
No, ice cream.
Do you know, when we were kids, our mother used to tell us that when the ice cream van, when the music come on, that meant the ice cream van had run out of ice cream. That's cruel, isn't it? That's cruel, isn't it? She could never keep that up, though. She could never keep it up.
Monday night, 11:30. Paramedic Gaz Clark and technician Debbie Woodcock are on shift till 1 a.m.
I don't like water.
I don't mind it if it's ice cold. I like ice cold water.
I like the flavoured water and the fizzy water, but I don't like still water.
No, once it starts to get the ball.
Oh.
There we go. We're going to a 19-year-old female with chest pain. Weakness in right arm, pain in right arm, 45 minutes. Which has got no symptoms of a heart attack.
They arrive at Zoe's house within 9 minutes.
OK.
Hello there. We come to see you, Zoe. Right. Now, the pain in your chest. With one finger, point to where the pain was. Right in the centre.
Yeah.
Now, the pain in your arm, how long have you had that for?
A few days, but it's got worse in the last hour.
It's got worse in the last hours. How does your arm feel?
Really weak.
Really weak. Any other sensations? Is the burning, heaviness, tingling, itching? Tingling. Whereabouts?
Mainly my wrist and...
The lower part of your arm. She had chest pain and also a tingling and pain in her right-hand arm. Those two aren't normally linked, so we needed to separate them to find out what was going on.
Just rest your arm down a minute.
Zoe's already been referred to a neurologist and is waiting for an appointment. But the chest pain is new.
Is this pain in the centre of your chest? Did it come on suddenly? Yeah. Had you been coughing? Did you move?
No, just sitting there.
Sitting there watching telly? Yeah. And suddenly you just got this pain. Now, does it feel at the front, at the middle, or at the back?
The front and the back.
It feels front and back, nowhere in the middle, or does it seem to go through your body?
Through the body.
It seems to go through your body.
Debbie does an immediate ECG to check Zoe's heart.
Right, nice and still for a minute.
The results are normal.
Lift this arm above your head. Does it make any difference to the pain?
Increases it.
Increases it?
Yes.
Right, move it off to the side then. Once she was moving her arms around, taking deep breath, all of this was causing her extra pain. I was quite convinced that this wasn't actually cardiac related, the pain. It was more to do with the muscular.
The detective work continues. Gaz moves on to the mysterious tingling in Zoe's right arm.
Put your chin right down onto your chest.
That's all.
That hurts, does it? Where does it hurt? Down the sides or down the back?
In the back.
Straight down the back.
Zoe's been getting headaches, dizziness and blurred vision for 3 months. The headaches are on the right side of her head, the same side as her arm problems.
She was already under a neurologist, so this is an ongoing condition that's been observed and looked into. But it's important to find out that something hasn't changed and it hasn't got worse.
Gaz performs a cranial nerve assessment.
Where am I touching?
Cheekbones.
Does it feel the same on both sides?
A range of tests to check vision, smell, hearing, reflexes and feeling.
Any pain?
Oh, God. Yeah, in the right side.
At the back or at the front?
Everywhere.
All of it?
The clues are pointing Gaz towards a diagnosis, but there's one last test that would prove his theory. He asks Zoe's mum for a plate with some salt on one side and sugar on the other.
And then touch it in there, and then you've got to taste it without opening your eyes. Okay? You've got to tell me whether it tastes like sugar, whether it tastes like salt. Right, I'll try that.
Can't taste anything, to be honest.
Try sucking your finger dry so you got all the stuff off. Can't really taste?
No.
Right. Try it again. Can't really tell?
No.
You can't tell whether that's sweet or salt?
No.
Tastes the same, does it? You're showing signs of what I think called Bell's palsy.
Oh, great.
No, Bell's palsy is a normal thing and it could be linked to the neurology, which might speed things along a little bit. Yeah, and one of the things about Bell's palsy is you cannot tell the difference between salt and sugar, which is what you rely on the tongue. Yeah, which is what we do in that. Did he? Ah, right.
Yeah, 2 bouts.
Bell's palsy is a neurological condition. Its best known symptom is paralysis on one side of the face.
You look like you're in quite a bit of pain and you're not really showing. Yeah, no, but we can tell that you're trying to hide it in that. The pains in your arm are worrying you a lot as well.
It's now after midnight. Gaz's range of checks has taken 45 minutes.
We've done several checks now. We're limited in some of the checks that we can do. We need to make sure that the condition that she has got is related to what she's being investigated for and not something else that's creeping up underneath the radar. Bell's palsy is something that you recover from, yeah. Now, your husband had it before, he's had 2 bouts of it, but recovered fully from it, isn't it? And yeah, really does. And if the side of your face falls down, it just takes all the wrinkles out from around your eyes, don't worry
I'm
about
scared
it.
of happening. What? Getting rid of your wrinkles?
Yeah.
What wrinkles?
Now she's paranoid about the wrinkles. Don't say about the wrinkles.
No, she don't make them.
But on arrival at hospital, it's not her makeup she's worried about.
You what? You know what? Ah, yeah, but the question is, are you warm?
Yeah, I've got clothes next.
That's it then. As long as you're warm.
Now early on Tuesday morning, it's the end of the shift.
Happy birthday to me.
Oh.
Happy birthday
Yes, it is
to
now, isn't
me.
it? You still didn't buy the cakes.
Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me.
For 362.
62, go ahead of her.
I really need a wee. Obviously, this is our 3rd VNO on the bounce. Can I just go to the hotel at the island and go, please?
62, that's quite a reasonable request, really, isn't it? So, yeah, go on then, we'll let you do that.
I was contemplating using the she-wee, but as we've got the camera crew, I've got stage fright.
Shut up, Loz. I'm going to put you on available whilst you go and do your business, then.
I'm not dropping the kids off, I only need a wee. Thank you very much, you're my best friend now.
Richard soon had another, much worse seizure. He was rushed to hospital where he was given an MRI scan and kept in overnight. He's now on daily medication and waiting to see the neurologist. 5-year-old Riley was kept on oxygen at hospital all night. He was given a different sort of inhaler to prevent his airways closing. He's now moved up to Year 1 at school. The GP came to visit Lawrence the day after his fall to check him over. He's now making steady progress and is back on his feet. Kitty is making sure he takes it easy. And Zoe's now seen the neurologist, who says she's suffering from severe migraines. She's been told to remove cheese, chocolate and fizzy drinks from her diet.
I have very much enjoyed this evening with you.
Oh, yes.